I was outside. I was in either like a field or on a hill, not really sure. I was high up somewhere, kind of surrounded by like nature. Like I could there was like a view of more hills and some trees, and anyways, but the dream started as I'm sitting there, and I'm from my left. I turn and I look, and I see what looks like the most beautiful stars, white sparkles, shooting up from the ground, going into the air. When I tell you that this felt real, that I've never seen anything more beautiful in my life, I'm not kidding you. It was really something. It's hard to even explain it and to put it in words, and I've told a couple people, and every time that I explain it, words really don't do it justice, because they just don't. But the best way I can explain it is, it's not like strobes of light shooting from the ground. It looks like twinkling stars, or like sparklers almost, or I can't even. It was beautiful. And so I'm starting from my left, and I look around, and all in front of me, I see these stars shooting up into the heavens right in front of my face. And I'm blown away, and my breath goes away, and I feel myself start to cry. I feel the emotion, and immediately I know what's happening. It's the dead rising to be with God, and the time is then, and I get this overwhelming sense of joy and happiness and excitement all at the same time, and I get ready to fall on my knees and raise my hand to God, and before my knees hit the ground, I feel this sense of falling, I guess. It was like the same feeling that you get when you're going on the top of a roller coaster and you're getting ready to, right as soon as you go down, and you get that rush of adrenaline. I felt that feeling, and then I was shot up. Now, after I got that feeling, I didn't see anything else after that, at that point. I felt myself, I guess, kind of, I don't want to say turn white. I don't want to say that I was turning into what I was seeing around me. That wasn't, but I felt a light. I felt the Spirit of God lift me up, because like I said, I was getting ready to fall on my knees, but I never made it. And I got that feeling of adrenaline, and it felt like I was going down a roller coaster, but I was shooting up. And then that was it. And then there was nothing else. And I was kind of groggy, and I don't really remember exactly if I was. I don't think that I woke up fully. I think that I turned, but when I turned over, I could feel the tears streaming from the side of my eye. And I didn't dream anything else after that. And to be honest with you, when I woke up, I didn't remember it at first. It didn't occur to me what happened, or what I dreamt of, until I was at work later on that day, and it all just kind of came back to me at once, and I was like, oh, Hillary, do you remember what you dreamed last night? That was really real. Like, you really dreamt that. You felt that. And so I had to tell somebody right away, right? Because I'm not the type of person to, like, remember and feel that kind of thing and not share it. I'm a sharer. That's what I do. I share things. So I told a couple of people, and all of the reactions that I got were, positive. I talked to one of my friends, who's here staying in Costa Rica, not for a long time, but, and I told her how that, even though I've always had a feeling of God's presence in my life, and how I know that He has been on my life, and I've seen His hand work in my life many ways, over the years. I didn't have a really good childhood. It was very difficult, but for whatever reason, God always protected me. He's always looked out for me, and I haven't been the best Christian. I haven't been super faithful, and if you were to ask me the summary of my Christianity, I would probably say I was lukewarm. There was times when I was on fire for God, and there was times after my dad passed away and a couple of other circumstances that happened in my life that I was angry with God, and I did not feel like celebrating him. I didn't feel like acknowledging him, even though, the feeling of guilt knowing that I wouldn't say denying God, but just not acknowledging him, not giving him what he deserves after everything that he's done in my life. So I can't stop thinking about it. It's really been on my mind, and I've been doing a lot of research lately, and I have like this overwhelming sense that, especially coming from somebody who, I don't dream, guys, I don't dream. I never dream. And to have this dream and the way that it felt, and I remember the feeling, and I remember the tear coming across the side of my face. It was the most beautiful feeling, the most beautiful sight I've ever seen in my life. And so it's Sunday, it's Easter. I went to church this morning. There's been a church I've been wanting to go to for a long time, but considering Sundays are my only day off, I work a lot, and that's usually my day to catch up on my housework and to spend time with my son. He's not here today. He's visiting family in another part of town. So I decided, you know what? I can't go back to the way that I felt before, because I've seen what I've seen now, and I felt it, and I can't act like it didn't happen. I feel like God gave me this dream for a reason. And I really feel like the rapture is coming soon. And I feel like the vision that he gave me, well, you can't really say it's a vision, I guess, because I was dreaming. So the dream that he gave me was, because I've been fighting with myself lately, over the past 2 weeks or so, really, the more that I've been researching about end times and what's happening in our world, and, especially what's even happened in the past 2 weeks with Syria and Trump and everything that's happening. Do you guys notice? It's accelerating. Everything is happening very fast. We are in end times, there's no doubt about it. And I cannot deny it anymore. Would you believe this morning the message at church was, what are you going to do with the information that's been given to you? I thought for sure the message was just going to be like every church's message on Sundays, the resurrection, the story, which I was happy to hear. It's one of my favorite, and I love that story. I thought that's what it was going to be. And can you believe that the message was, what are you going to do with the information that's been given to you? I'm sitting there in my chair, and I'm like, God, I get it. Okay, finally, I get it. The information that's been given to me is that the time is near, and God's grace is so good. And I really think that the dream that he sent me was comfort for me. It was resting assured that he knows that I am his child. He knows of my sins. He knows that I struggle. He knows that I make a lot of mistakes and that I'm not worthy. I feel like I'm not worthy of being in his presence. And for a long time, even though I've been saved, I can't even tell you how many times. Every time I'd slip up and I'd go back to church, I'd rededicate my life back to Christ. Even though I know that I'm saved and that my name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life, I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of Christians would agree with me, because of my sin and because I messed up a lot. I always have this battle inside me, like, what if you are left behind, Hillary? What if you've done more bad than you've done good? What if your I'm sorries and your prayers and everything that you've done good hasn't been good enough? And I really think that God answered my worry in my dream the other night, because again, I don't dream. I never dream. I wasn't researching anything before I went to sleep. It's not like I was watching a movie and, this is what I saw. I've been doing a lot of research lately, like I said, um, on things that are going to be happening and prophecy that's being fulfilled this year, specifically September of this year, with signs in the heavens. And I can't be silent anymore. I've seen what I've seen. I will never be the same. I have to share my message. My message is the rapture's coming soon, guys. I'm probably going to lose a lot of friends over this, and that's okay. I hope that this message comes across as loving and sincere. Those of you who know me know that I'm sarcastic and I'm witty, and sometimes I can have like a harsh way around me, and it's just a part of who I am. But in reality, I am a Christian. I am a daughter of God, and what happened to me the other night is not something that has ever happened to me before in my life. I really feel like God is showing his people, signs, and that we're supposed to be looking up towards the heavens for these signs. And so that's it. I just wanted to get it out there. Those of you who don't believe, I hope that a seed is planted in you, and that if you have any questions, I can't answer everything because I'm still a Christian in progress. I don't have all the answers, but what I can tell you is that God loves you. He made you in his likeness. He knows every hair on your head, and us as Christians are supposed to be the salt of the earth. I wouldn't be doing the right thing if I just didn't spread the message of my dream. I have to do it. There's no other option.